being compared to the World Economic Forum in Davos and Asia's largest meeting for leaders in government and business. Held on the tropical island of Hainan, may now rival its Swiss-based counterpart in importance, at least for China. This comes as Asia leads the global economic recovery, with China posting the fastest growth rate this quarter in nearly 3 years, at close to 12%. The prestigious event is celebrated by a mainly Asian elite, networking with each other, some 2,000 delegates from 32 countries, looking to their host for leadership.
The message coming out of the Boao Forum this year is of a bolder, stronger Asia, with heavyweights China and India now leading the charge. No longer dependent on the West for growth, Asian economies are increasingly looking to one another for trade, investment and inspiration.
China on its home turf dominated the stage, with heavyweight Xi Jinping, the vice president, and Zhu Zhouquan, the governor of the People's Bank of China, among others in attendance, testament to the increasing importance Beijing places on the Boao Forum. The green recovery theme also resonated at the highest level, with leaders expressing a need to find more sustainable, less polluting patterns of development in Asia. And the destination, Hainan Island, is testament to China's meteoric economic growth. It's experiencing a boom in construction as the country's burgeoning new rich increasingly come here to get away from it all. This year's Boao Forum also came hot on the heels of the ASEAN summit in Hanoi, with China keen to boost trade, not only with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, but also with other partners across Asia, including India.
China, I think, understands Indonesia, understands ASEAN, quite intimately. And if you take a look at ASEAN, ASEAN sits on top of about 600 million people and close to $2 trillion worth of economy, and an intra-trade of about 1.3 trillion, give and take. So there is interconnectedness within that community.
This intimacy may get a boost when China's Premier Wen Jiabao visits Indonesia later this year. Increased cooperation should lead to increased investment in infrastructure and its provinces. This is important for Southeast Asia's biggest economy to sustain its growth rate, expected to top 5% in 2010.
Investments are starting to rise up in a big way, but we've had steady flows of capital also from other places. The key is, how do we make sure that this money or capital that's flowing into Indonesia gets converted for things that are going to be good for Indonesia in the long run.
We can do our best to attract the investment, keep green, develop new models so that the resources that we have can be managed for long-term purposes.
Behind the scenes at the Boao Forum, Asian dealmakers were busy with investors from within the region. Buoyed by huge reserves, they're now increasingly looking to invest in their booming neighbours.
I see a lot of investment opportunity in the region, but to be honest, a lot of them is still quite cheap as compared to the Western world. And so with the sort of pricing, there will be a lot of people coming in on different areas, a lot of resources, a lot of technology and everything. It's good for the development of the countries around this region.
Well, basically, I think people are optimistic. People are really looking for further growth, not only China, but the Asian economies. Asian economy didn't get hurt very much from this financial crisis.
And it's this new East-East dynamic that has traditional trading partners from the West scrambling to get in on the action.
We do not think it's healthy for Asia to develop an architecture which is exclusive of or shuts out relations with the United States. We think that we have a very active economic role, financial role, security role in the region.
But it wasn't all a big party on tropical Hainan. There are still real concerns about Asia's economy, not just about a more flexible Chinese currency, but about dealing with heavy inflows of funds, as well as dispelling misperceptions about the region.
The room for speculations is really huge. So that's why it's very easy to get hot money, to get the kind of speculative capital flows. So that's why we need to deal with more difficulties rather than develop a country to prevent those bubbles.
Indonesia needs to get known for other things. The fact that it is going to be above $600 billion economy this year, the fact that it is the largest economy in ASEAN, the fact that it is a member of the G20 for several years already.
The Boao Forum isn't a huge headline maker. It's a place where Asia's elites really come together and do business and brainstorm, and that's the point. They quietly mapped out the region's future behind closed doors amid the tropical breeze of Boao. And with the rise of Asia, it's these discussions that are likely to have real global consequences.